Okay, so our motivation to make this video is, turns out on race day, things can get a little bit unpredictable and out of your control.
Cue crash footage. And while that racing is all crazy and uncontrollable, a lot of the things that happen before race are actually well within your control. So today we're going to be making a list in chronological order on what to do from your last training day up until the whistle blows. And we're going to be going through, a lot of the preparation pieces that have a huge performance impact. And I mean, Jeff, we're talking real watts here, okay?
Yeah. No, this is like, we dork out on this stuff, right? That's what Brian and I do. So we want to share with you some of our best tips in those moments leading up to your race that are going to have a pretty big impact on your performance during race day. So it might seem a little bit petty for us to make a big deal out of the little things, but honestly, the little things in summation end up being a big deal. So with that said, let's dive into it, starting with the taper. This is a big subject. Brian and I could spend hours talking about this. Let me just give you the quick and dirty here. Don't cram for the final exam, you guys. You're not gonna get more fit in the week leading up to your A priority race. You're just not. Equally as important, don't stop riding because you're gonna feel flat on race day. Let me tell you what I do. This is what I do in the week leading up to my A priority race. I don't stop training. About 4 days a week, the same number of days, but those training days are much different. I cut the volume time in half. So I'm doing, if it's a 4-hour ride, I'm doing a 2-hour ride. I'm doing the same amount of intensity. This serves two purposes. One, I am still sharp because I have that intensity. And two, I am shedding that fatigue. So on race day, I am ready to go. And then for those of you who use Strava, I aim for about a 0 fatigue level. That seems to be where I perform my best.
Okay, so now that we've talked about a taper, we need to talk about the bike itself. And the clean bike, well, that's a fast bike. So I think we need to define what clean really means. And to me, there's really two definitions, okay? There's the deep drivetrain overhaul. You're gonna take your bottom bracket out and grease your headset. Those types of things, they're not happening the night before your race, okay? Those are happening potentially 3, 4, maybe even a week before your race. The night before your race, you're just taking dust, maybe a little bit of dirt, wiping your chain with a rag and maybe applying a little bit of lube or some wax, which really brings us to drivetrain efficiency.
Drivetrain efficiency, let's talk about it. I think the most important part, first of all, have a clean drivetrain. That kind of goes off what Brian was just saying. But that's the most important thing. Clean your drivetrain. Let's go to the next tier. The next tier is you are lubricating your now clean drivetrain. Important. Now let's go to the God tier, AKA the Brian tier.
This is my happy place.
I'm gonna talk about Brian's favorite subject, and that is chain waxing. Our friends over at Silka have sent us some products. This isn't the hassle it used to be. Now, pre-waxed chains, that's right, this is a thing. This is ready to go, and it's not just one race. This is like several hundred miles of racing on this, and here's what's cool. These two products together, these peanut butter and jelly, basically, these two go together. This is the super secret chain coating also from Silka. I'm not supposed to show it, it's super secret. But what this does is this will bring a normal chain almost up to the standard of a pre-wax chain. And then also what it does is it will prolong the life of your pre-wax chain. So this is far off into Brian territory. But if you're sitting there at the end of nationals wondering, man, would those extra 8 watts have won me the race? You don't want to wonder about it? Check out what Silka has to offer. We'll leave a link down in the description. Okay, so we're getting closer to race day, and now we're going to talk about an often overlooked aspect of race preparation, which is course recon. If you're able to go out and actually pre-ride the course, this is ideal. Not always feasible. So there are other tools at your disposal in order to almost get the same amount of benefit, to be honest. So use that technology. Find the weather forecast, first of all.
Yeah.
I am sure somebody has gone onto Strava and made a segment on this crit course that you're thinking of, or whatever it is. You can go into, I love this one. You can go into Google Street View and actually walk the course digitally. You can look at the pavement. You can look at every detail of the course. I've done this before. It is super important. And then also you can look at like race footage that people have posted online. I think there's a YouTuber who does like certain commentary, some lanky nasally guy, I can't remember his name. He does race commentary sometimes. You remember who I'm talking about?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. So check that out. And then here's what you're doing specifically when you're doing course recon, is you are looking for those moments in the race that capitalize on your strength. So everyone's gonna be a little bit different. Brian is a go from 1K sort of guy. He is looking for that mailbox at 1 kilometer to go right before the technical section, right? And what do I always say? It is a sprint for the final corner. You know I'm in Google Maps. I am in Street View. I am like a detective in there looking at that apex of that final corner. I'm trying to figure out what the last racer did that won it. I'm trying to figure out how to hit that apex. I'm even looking at stuff like the asphalt and the potholes, which I think is a good segue into our next topic.
All right, Jeff, I got a question for you.
Okay.
What is the narrowest tire and the highest pressure you have raced a crit on?
Oh God. Do I have to tell the whole internet about this?
I think you do.
For the first 5-7 years, I ran gator skins on race day, 23 mil variety at like 125 PSI. Because I thought higher pressure is faster, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're not alone. You're not alone, okay?
Emotional support group for you 125 gator skin folks. Meet me down in the comments.
Higher pressure is not actually faster. In fact, lower pressure has been shown to be faster, but you really don't need to take my word for it. Silka has come up with an amazing calculator, which I actually keep on my phone and reference almost daily, where you simply just plug in a few parameters and get the most efficient tire pressure for your conditions.
It's fantastic. And here's the idea. Like, it spits out this 82.7 PSI or something like that. It's highly accurate, but you take something like this, and they sent us this, and look at this beauty. This is their Super Pista digital pump. Don't touch, Brian.
See.
This is mine. This is a piece of art. This is the last pump I will ever have, because this will outlive me. I understand that it's not for everybody. It's a $350 pump. It is a work of art, and if understandably so, this is maybe outside of your budget for now. There is a less convenient way of doing this. If you want to get highly accurate pressure readings, go to their free calculator and then use something like this. This is just a little digital gauge, and you can get this level of accuracy with a little bit more fuss, but a few less dollars. Me, I like having the piece of art in my garage, but I understand that's not for everybody. Okay, Brian, our bike is set up. We know what to expect. We've done our course recon. But now I want to have a really nervous dinner the night before the race. What am I supposed to do with nutrition, right? We talk about what to do during the race, but we haven't talked about what to do before the race, leading up to the race. So let's start with, like I said, that dinner the night before. Don't eat anything new. Like, this can be a theme throughout the nutrition segment here, which is don't do anything brand new. Carbs are legal dope. I have said that on the channel so many times. So eat a bunch of carbs. Don't have a light salad with tuna the night before your big race. Eat a bunch of carbs. If you like rice, that's cool. If you like pasta, eat that too. Okay. Race day. This is important. You don't want to have a monster burrito minutes before your race. That will end in disaster. So you want to give yourself at least 2 hours, hopefully closer to 3 hours from that last big meal, like heavy, fatty, protein-rich meal, until they blow the whistle. So plan accordingly. And now let's talk about, we said carbs are legal dope. Let's talk about the dope that is legal dope.
Dopest dope is caffeine.
Caffeine is actual legal dope. And you bet it's a performance enhancement. And I take full advantage of that. I'm not going to get into it. Trainer Road has a wonderful article on this. Let me just try to narrow this down for you as quickly as possible. 3 to 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight is the ideal dose for maximum performance. What does that actually mean, though? Go drink a 20-ounce black coffee from Starbucks or whatever. But again, this isn't the first time you're doing this, right? None of this is a brand new experience. So you don't want to find yourself in the Porta-John 5 minutes before your race making a last-minute watts per kg adjustment. So plan accordingly. But those are my tips on maximizing your nutrition for performance benefit.
Okay, so we are caffeinated and we are ready to go fast. So with that comes one of the last actual controllable pieces that you can think about before your race, which is the Aero clothing that you're gonna put on, which Jeff and I had the awesome opportunity to spend some time in the Specialized Wind Tunnel. We made a whole video about this, but let me summarize for you when it comes to clothing. First, make sure the clothing actually fits your body. You don't want to be spending time in a loosely fitted club jersey. Make sure it's tight. The second thing is texture. Okay, so take the Silka Aero socks, for example. These are extra large. I mean, they're tiny.
Wait, child small, what'd you say?
Yeah, they are tiny. But with that means they're going to be, obviously it means they're going to be form-fitting, as any sock would be. But with that comes some of this texture. So as you stretch this over, you're gonna get texture. This could be on your sleeves, this could be on your socks. Just don't let all of that off-season training go to waste because you chose to wear Costco cotton socks and that loosely fitted jersey. Make sure you pay attention to these things. It's one of the last controllable things. Put it in your duffel bag early and make sure you get to the races on time.
Okay, so just remember, as small as some of these things may seem, preparation prevents piss poor performance, as a wise man once said. So anyway, that's it. They've blown the whistle. Go check out one of my race analysis videos if you want to check out strategy. And with that said, Brian, always a pleasure. And let us know down in the comments what else you guys want to see. We love making these. Catch you guys in the next one.